Hey everyone, today is October 9th, and since June 1st, 2020, I've managed to keep up making recordings, uploading them to YouTube. So this is number 495. So I'm about like 5 days away or so. Um, from a streak of 500 recordings. So I was quite pleased um, at the beginning of June or at the end of May to reach a year for 365. And then like the next thing that was on the list was 500 days. And that's coming up. So um, it's, I still make mistakes. I still make a ton of mistakes. Um, I'm not embarrassed by them, and I don't necessarily consider them like failures because each opportunity to practice is just practice is what it is. Practice is what it's all about. There isn't exactly, I mean, I say 365 days, or I say 500 days, or I say beyond that, but it's like a milestone. And I just saw um, somebody I met at a conference who was holding up a, um, a silver YouTube button for reaching 100,000 subscribers. It's not a finish line, but it is a reminder of kind of the hard work that goes into a project. In that case, like number of subscribers, or for me, making daily recordings, keeping track of my progress through recordings. I just want to keep going, and the streak continues. The motivation to continue grows stronger. It gets harder to kind of break the streak because I know that every day I have a commitment with myself um, for each of those languages that I'm feeding. My recording, my practice is like feeding them. There's still more I can do in each language. Scheduling practice sessions with practice partners or language teachers, getting the content into my head, in my ears a little bit more than just kind of looking at stuff in English, which I still do a lot of. But I think the streak that I've managed to create, this chain, is like proving to myself that I'm capable of something consistent. I know in the challenge itself, um, going back 4.5 years, there's definitely a bigger streak, which is the daily emails. So whether or not I've managed to make my recordings, I still have an email going out every day. Um, so that's an even bigger streak to prove to myself that, okay, 500 days, yeah, that's at this point like a year and 4 months, but I've managed to go like 54 months, 53, 54 months of writing emails. And so that's over, if I do the math right, but that's over like 1,600 days of emails and coming up with content to write about. So the recording part here, that one still is a little tricky because I do like to be able to record myself when I have a quiet moment. And as a busy parent with a 7-year-old, almost 9-year-old, I don't always find those quiet moments, or I don't know if in the middle of making a recording like this, if I'm going to get interrupted somehow. So it finding quiet moments for recordings is not always that easy. Typing an email, no matter what's going on in the background, I can type an email. And luckily, luckily the people who read those emails aren't listening to what's going on in the background. So sometimes I'm writing when it's kind of crazy around me, just to get something get something out there. But proving to myself that I can do this for like 500 times in a row, and upload and keep track of my progress. And the other day I was listening to, on June 1st, listening to how I was speaking for German. I didn't even remember the word. I didn't even remember the word for challenge, Herausforderung. And I was really super slow in the Italian and slow in the Russian. Things feel like they're like picking up the pace. I can find my words a little bit more easily. I should work on my English as well. And it's just a reminder, like it's daily photographs of where have I been, what have I gone through, what's on my mind. Some days have been easier, some days have been harder, but whether or not I'm tired, whether I'm kind of not in the mood, I still make the recording. And I think that's a true testament to this motivation, that I believe in this process, that it is possible. Not only am I proving this to myself, but I'm also kind of, for any naysayers and people who don't think it's possible to make a recording every day. And I say, well, I'm doing it, and I'm busy, and I've got kids, and I'm teaching online, and just everything that's gone through in my life the past year and a half and even further, just despite everything, it is possible to make a daily recording in the middle of a pandemic. It's just, I'm not laughing at the pandemic. I'm just laughing at the amount of challenges and the amount of difficult life situations I feel I have been going through, and not letting them pin me to the floor like a knockout. And as long as I make a recording, as long as I show up the next day, find a silver lining, find something positive, find something optimistic to look forward to, I still have the motivation to continue. And the speaking challenge and being able to help others, to give back to the language community, to help inspire learners, to lead through example. That's what really motivates me to continue, motivates me to make these recordings. And these are part of a legacy, I hope. Whether I get 2-3 views on a video, who I'm doing this for right now, it's for myself, it's for my progress. And if I can inspire one person, then it's a good day. First and foremost, if I can inspire myself to continue to go to the next day, that counts. If somebody else can also get some benefit from seeing this as an inspiration, that if I can do that despite everything that's going on, then maybe somebody else who is possibly thinking that they're feeling lazy, or they're not motivated, or they don't know how to get started, I would just say get started. You don't have to have the solutions, you just have to take some action. And the fact that I can do the emails and the fact that I can do these recordings I still have doubts in other parts of my life, which are like the um, producing content. Sometimes when I'm having imposter syndrome or self doubts or wondering like, what am I doing now? Or exercise, like, okay, how do I get started tomorrow? Like, I have the intention of waking up at 6 in the morning and doing the exercise, but then it comes time to at 6 a.m. and I said I scheduled this and I try to get some sleep the night before. Well, maybe I didn't have it all planned out. So to say, well, I'm here, but I need some help from, let's say, a YouTube video of an exercise routine. And so how about I create a playlist so I don't have the now what? Which is exactly why I write my daily emails for the speaking challenge, because it's not just okay, an appointment with myself to show up and make this recording, but well, now what am I going to talk about? So that's why I took it upon myself, took the initiative to be writing daily emails and suggesting topics and suggesting options, and also giving people the if they wish to opt out of a suggested question, they have that possibility, but there's at least something that you can choose, and the decision of what to talk about is partially removed. There's just the go ahead, talk about that. And if you discover that you're missing some vocabulary words, it's not the end of the world. It's an opportunity to review them, perhaps after the recording, or you could do a series of these recordings as multiple takes, maybe share one of them with the community, not necessarily record, delete, and try to find something perfect, because ultimately they're never 100% perfect. And we're doing it for ourselves first, and trying to get some feedback when possible. So, and as a way to look back later on and see what progress we have made. So if there are mistakes and if things are less than perfect, that's fine, because it shows that we are in a constant state of evolution. And whether or not we feel like we did something perfectly, we still have to show up like the next day and just do it all over again. So just because I told somebody, hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. That's not the last time I'm going to say that phrase in my life. I'll still have to say, hi, how are you? Nice to meet you, to another person who hasn't heard me say that before. It's another opportunity to practice saying that phrase, or introduce myself. I haven't met everybody in the world. There are still people to meet. There are still new people who haven't been born yet, who haven't heard me say, hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. So it's a never-ending process of practicing speaking and meeting new people, and even meeting people who haven't been born yet. Just because we practice speaking and saying one thing today doesn't mean we're going to stop using those phrases the rest of our lives. So it's, or just because I brush my teeth once doesn't mean I'm going to stop brushing my teeth, or just because I took a shower once doesn't mean I'm going to stop brushing or taking a shower. So practicing speaking it's an ongoing process. We need to practice as much as we can, and the more we do, and the more consistent we are with it, the maintenance part is built into this just daily practice. We don't just brush our teeth like 2 days before we get a dental checkup. The dentist is going to be recommending that we brush our teeth at least 2 or 3 times a day to kind of maintain the teeth in good shape. And I would highly recommend that speaking on a daily basis is also part of the language maintenance and language growth. So whatever we practice and use as a regular skill, it gets stronger and stronger. So, somebody who's brand new at driving, they lack years of practice, and somebody who is at my age and been driving for at least 2 decades, there is the confidence that comes with years and years and years of doing a something like driving. So it's not just like you do it once and that's it. You gain more experience, more expertise, more confidence from as much practice as you can get. So yeah, that's why I will continue making these recordings beyond 500. Hola a todos, hoy es día número 9 en octubre y estoy comentando que para mí es día 495 desde el 1 de junio 2020 y que estoy muy orgulloso que puedo continuar haciendo grabaciones diarias y compartirlos en YouTube, y puedo regresar a ver mi progreso, mi desarrollo, y que pues voy a conseguir 500 veces en unos días. Y voy a seguir después de esas 500 veces, porque me ayuda muchísimo con el mantenimiento de los idiomas. Siento que para el español, por ejemplo, estoy ganando mucho más fluidez, porque aunque viva en México, no siempre estoy practicando, conversando con muchísima gente. Trabajo en casa, hablo inglés con mis hijos, hablo inglés con mis alumnos. Si salgo y hablo en español, pues con cajeros, con meseros, con gente en tiendas, pero no forzosamente son conversaciones muy largas, son intercambios muy breves de ¿qué tal? Buenos días. ¿Encontraste todo? Pues sí. Ok. ¿Cómo vas a pagar? Con tarjeta. Ok, sí. Aquí está su NIP. Ok. ¿Quiere el recibo? No. Ok, gracias. Buen día. Igualmente. Y ya se acaba la conversación y con otras personas he encontrado unas personas para como un intercambio de idiomas en persona. Eso fue como en abril, mayo, antes de la temporada de lluvias. y pero ahorita está terminando pronto, espero, esa temporada, y tal vez puedo como salir otra vez más fácilmente, o salir, tomar un café o desayunar con unos amigos, o encontrarme más pasatiempos aquí donde vivo para encontrar más gente, porque es necesario, bueno, tener amigos y tener gente con quien puedo pasar tiempo, y no siempre nada más con los niños o estar hablando nada más con los clientes, etc. Bueno, eso es todo para hoy. Gracias. Bonjour tout le monde. Aujourd'hui, c'est le jour 9 en octobre, mais pour moi, c'est le jour 495 depuis le 1er juin 2020. Donc, bientôt, ça va être 500 enregistrements. Et je fais ça, et surtout, par exemple en français, j'habitais 6 ans en France, mais depuis que j'habite au Mexique, de temps en temps, je regarde un journal intime que j'avais à Paris, ou que je regarde les devoirs que j'écrivais pour la fac. Et je constate que de temps en temps, j'oublie un mot de vocabulaire ou je regarde à quel point je pouvais bien écrire en français. Et puis, ça fait un moment que j'écris pratiquement plus en français. Même si il se trouve que quand je parle, j'ai la possibilité de regarder ce que je raconte. Euh, J'oublie ce que ça s'appelle, mais c'est un type de euh, synesthésie, euh, je crois. Synesthésie, synesthésie, peut-être. Et synesthésie. Et donc, par exemple, quand je parle, je peux voir comme des sous-titres de ce que je suis en train de raconter. Donc, d'une façon, je peux lire en même temps que je parle ce que je raconte. Euh, c'est intéressant. Mais bon, des fois, ça peut être une distraction que... Et aussi, quand les gens me parlent, je vois ce qu'ils racontent. J'ai comme un sous-titre qui active, comme une auto-caption. Mais bon, c'est pas ça que je voulais raconter, mais c'est surtout le fait que même si je n'écris pas forcément en français, je suis en train d'écrire ce que je raconte en même temps que je parle. Et voilà. Mais bon, je vais continuer avec ces enregistrements et je suis très orgueilleux que j'arrive à continuer et maintenir le français, l'espagnol euh, et pas tout oublier parce que c'est ben, pour mes enfants surtout, je crois que c'est super qu'ils arrivent à parler anglais, espagnol, français. Euh, je, je dis ça de temps en temps à ma fille et elle dit bah, et alors? Bah, c'est normal. Euh, et j'aimerais voir si on peut apprendre d'autres langues aussi, mais elle prend ça tellement normal que quelqu'un peut parler trois langues. Mais bon, ähm, voilà, c'est tout pour aujourd'hui. Hallo an alle, heute ist der 9. Tag in der Herausforderung im Oktober. Für mich ist es auch 495 Tage ähm, von der 1. Juni 2020 und es werdet 500 Videoaufnahmen im Donnerstag, der 14. Tag im Oktober. Und jeden Tag ich möchte weiterhalten. Es ist etwas hilflich für Deutsch. Zum Beispiel, ich kann viele Wörter finden. Jeden Tag denke ich, dass habe ich ganz alle mein Deutsch vergessen und aber ich sehe, dass ich kann für einige Minuten auf Deutsch sprechen oder vielleicht ich spreche nicht fließend und es ist, ich kann einige Minuten auf Deutsch, wenn langsamer spreche ich. Oder aber jeden Tag sage ich, das ist nicht richtig. Ich weiß ein bisschen Deutsch und auch kann ich es verbessern und neue Wörter lernen und ja, vielleicht mein Deutsch ist nicht so schlecht. Ja, und ich kann jeden Tag ein bisschen auf Deutsch sagen. Ich möchte ein Language Partner oder Professorin oder Lehrerin, mit wem kann ich sprechen, vielleicht einmal jede Woche. Das ist alles für heute. Vielen Dank und tschüss. Ciao a tutti, oggi è un giorno nuovo in ottobre. Per me questo è anche il giorno 495 e i giovedì questo sarà il giorno 500 per me fare queste registrazioni. Mi piace molto che ho potuto fare un po' in italiano ogni giorno, perché sempre penso che il mio italiano non è molto bene, perché così sempre sto pensando in spagnolo, in francese, quando voglio dire una cosa in italiano, ma con il tempo che ho fatto queste registrazioni posso pensare direttamente in italiano e non sempre sto pensando che possibilmente questo è spagnolo, questo è francese, questo non è italiano, e parlare un po' ogni giorno aiuta moltissimo e per questo voglio continuare a fare queste registrazioni. Grazie e a domani. Всем привет! Сегодня 9 день в челлендже в октябре. И также это для меня день 495 дня. И скоро это будет 500 дня. И каждый день я вижу, что я могу говорить на русском немного лучше, чем вчера. И когда это будет 500 дня, я не хочу бросить, я хочу продолжать, потому что я вижу, что я могу говорить лучше каждый день. И мне нравится этот челлендж, и думаю, что это помогает мне много. Так, это все на сегодня. Большое спасибо и пока.